All right, I think we're live. So we can go ahead and start with introductions of each of the senators that are here. This is not a part of the physical meeting, but it's just an opportunity for the student body to get to know some of the senators. Would the deputy speaker like to go down the list of, or I guess senators can go down the list of who's here. We can do it that way. So starting with Senator Baker.
Senator Baker.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ya Baker. I am the senator for the class. I'm one of the senators for the class of 2022. I'm happy to be here. I love to serve. I am the most senior senator, but I thought they had plans today. Turns out not as much as I did, but I know that Senator Liverpool, I'm sorry, was prepared. I'm actually like really excited to see her lead it. So I know this is going to be like amazing. And I'm like really, I guess that was more of an introduction for Senator Liverpool than myself. But anyway, let's get hype.
Thank you, Senator Baker. Senator Belay.
Hello, my name.
Help me pronounce your name.
Oh yeah, it's right. It's fine. I'm fine with anything. Yeah, Billy. Okay. My name is Nadeem Billy. I'm a sophomore, doing biomedical engineering, and him. And yeah, I'm really excited about SA this year.
Could you also, as we go around, say the committees that you're on for student government?
Yeah. I'm on ISAC. I work with Sakile and the others in the International Students Committee.
I'm on campus services, and my pronouns are she, her, hers.
Senator Dillingham. Senator Fegler. Senator Hawk.
Hi, I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm going home, so my video is weird. I'm a sophomore double majoring in econ and international relations. I'm a senator, and I'm also the deputy chair of campus services. Yeah.
Senator Hathaway.
Hi, I'm Noah. I'm in the class of 2024. My pronouns are he, his. I'm on student life, ARC, and SORB, and my majors are business and poli-sci.
Senator Kazmi.
Hi, my name is Sabit. I'm a sophomore majoring in philosophy, economics, and DCS. I am the chair for the Campus Services Committee, and that is about me. I love being on Senate, love trying to do some good work if I can, especially if it comes at the cost of annoying a lot of administrators. But yeah, that's largely me.
Senator Liang.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Liang. I'm the chair of student life. I am a second semester senior, which means I'm very excited to get out of here. My pronouns are they, them. She, her works as well, preference for they, them. And yeah, outside of the classroom on the women's rugby team. And I am also a campus tour guide.
Senator Liverpool. Hi, I'm Victoria. I am a junior. I'm the deputy chair of ARC, and my pronouns are she, her. Senator Nadeem. Senator Nchingase. Senator, oh yay, hi, sorry, Sakile.
Yeah, no, I just came, are we just doing intros?
Yes, your name, pronouns, committee, and your class year.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Sakile Jangas. I am a senior. I'm a senator, and I'm also the chair of the International Student Affairs Committee. My pronouns are he, him.
Senator Ramirez. Senator Rogers. Senator Sadi.
Hi everyone, I'm Miraz Ahmed Sadi. I'm an international student from Bangladesh. I'm a freshman and I'm doing a double major in data science and biochemistry. My pronouns are any. You can like use anything for referring to me. Also, yeah, I'm here for the first time on campus doing my first on-campus semester. Yeah, I'm very excited and thank you guys for welcoming me. Yeah, and also I'm in the academic affairs committee. I help you guys with academic stuff. Thank you.
Welcome to Rochester, even though I'm not there. Enjoy the snow. Senator Salimi.
Hey guys, my name is Iman. I'm double majoring in political science and psychology. I'm a sophomore and I'm on the student life committee as well. And my pronouns are she, her, hers. And thank you, Eden, love you. And I'm very excited to be on Senate the Harry Styles cardboard cutout. That's why I'm laughing. Yes, but very excited. Yay, guys, thank you.
Okay, I was cracking up. Okay, Senator Tulloch.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andre, and I'm one of the sophomore senators for the class of 2023. My majors are in public health and social justice. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I sit on the academic affairs committee. Super excited to be back for this semester.
Senator Yoon.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm one of the senators for the class of 2024, and I'm on the art committee, and it's happy to be back.
We have quorum.
Awesome. All right, then that means we can move to the official meeting. So I will now call to order the meeting of February 8th, 2021. And this is going to be interesting because I believe that Senator Baker is still present. Yes. I can't see. Is Senator Baker still on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Then you are currently well, Matt is currently the deputy speaker.
It's fine.
And if,
Senator Liverpool can do it. It's absolutely okay.
yeah. We have to go through a procedural motion for it. So I think what we're going to do is right now, because I'm still acting as the speaker, then we can have Matt do the calling of the attendance as the deputy speaker. And then when I recuse myself from the speaker, we'll deal with that motion at that point. So would the deputy speaker, Matt, please call the attendance?
Sure. Oh, and just because I didn't introduce myself, hi guys, my name is Matt. I'm a poli-sci major, also a sophomore. All right, let's see the attendance. Senator Arnarkin, Senator Baker.
Here.
Senator Bile.
Present.
Senator Hawk.
Here.
Senator Hathaway.
Here.
Senator Cosme. Senator Liang.
Here.
Okay, gotcha. Senator Nchangase.
Here.
Senator Sadi.
Present.
Senator Salimi.
Here.
Senator Tulloch.
Here.
Senator Yoon.
Here.
Okay, I think we have 12 present and 6 absent.
All right, we can go ahead and sing the Genesee. If you could pull up the song on there we go. Full many fair and famous streams beneath the sun there be, yet more to us than any seems our own dear Genesee. We love her banks and stately falls, for to our minds they bring our dear old alma mater's halls, where sweetest memories cling. As flows the river gathering force along her steadfast way, may we along life's devious course grow stronger day by day, day by day. And may our hearts where'er we roam forever loyal be to our beloved college home beside the Genesee. All right, we can now do the land acknowledgement. Would a senator like to read the land acknowledgement?
I can.
Sure.
We would like to acknowledge with respect the Seneca Nation, known as the Great Hill People and keepers of the western door of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. We take this opportunity to thank the original caretakers on whose ancestral lands the University of Rochester currently resides in Rochester, New York. I yield back to the floor.
All right. We can move into open forum. I will stay as the speaker for this portion. So are there any points of discussion for open forum?
I have something. Sorry, I
Sure.
can't do it raise a hand feature. So I had a meeting with Mark Fisher and Dana Perrin. They're from DPS today. And so for those of you who don't know, last semester I started working on a texting service project with them, which was basically just going to be like, so like right now students can only call public safety if they're in danger or like have to report something. But some students came up to me like early last year in the beginning of the semester, and they were like, it would be really nice if there was like a texting service. It's like if students did not, like if students don't feel comfortable calling public safety, they can just text them instead. So I started working on that with them last semester. And so this week they had a demo for the service called Simply Texting that they ran through it like this morning with me. And that's going to be implemented possibly this week or early next week. So that's going to be a thing now, and we're going to start advertising it soon. But basically, you'll be able to text public safety now if you're in danger or need something, instead of like just having the option to call them. And I did bring up this point. So like the app doesn't have a feature where like you can send and so right now you can like send images to the app that they're trying to use, but I just like brought up the idea that like maybe if like students could attach images and stuff too. So like if they're like, for example, like over the bridge or whatever and they don't know how to describe it, they can like send them a picture and attach that to the text, so they'll be able to see that too. So they're going to try and work that out with the company that they're getting the product from. But yeah, so that's just something that's happening.
All right, is there any discussion on that? All right, are there any other points of discussion for open forum? Okay. All right, so I am now going to recuse myself from the meeting as the Speaker of the Senate, and that will mean that the current Deputy Speaker will become the acting Speaker, and the most senior senator will take the place of the acting Deputy Speaker. If there is a desire to have anyone else take the minutes, there could potentially be a motion to overrule the bylaws to allow a particular person, whoever the Senate would decide, to serve as acting Deputy Speaker. That is a choice you all can make. And with that in mind, I am going to recuse myself and allow the current Deputy Speaker, Matt Keel, to fill the shoes as the acting speaker.
All right, thank you. So yes, I'm now the acting speaker, and I believe that Senator Baker will be the acting deputy speaker in my absence. All right, so with that, we can move into some old business. Would the CURT team like to talk about their updates?
Sure, so I can hop in here. I think there were two major concerns that got brought up and discussed last CURT meeting, having to do with Dr. Chatbot notifications. It's currently being looked into because honestly, I'm sure for those of us who are receiving them, even though we fill them out as soon as we get the email, it's pretty annoying. And one thing that we would consider a systemic concern as a consequence of that is people no longer signing up for those notifications, which removes them from the Alert UR system almost entirely. So that's a real challenge. And given that the university is pretty intent on increasing compliance rates for Dr. Chatbot completion, hopefully we would like to see it resolved pretty soon. That's, I think, all we have to share for CURT. There should be more updates later on, though. With that, I yield.
Does anyone have anything to discuss based on those updates? All right, seeing none, we can go into senator updates if any senator, oh, I'm sorry. Senator Liang, are you trying to get senator updates or CURT updates?
CURT updates.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Yeah, just to highlight a discussion that happened in steering, I think something that we have to keep in mind regarding CURT is that like when policy changes occur, we really need to be communicating to the student body. And I don't mean like we, but more so the administration in general, because I feel like the reason why compliance is down is because sometimes the rules are just really stupid or poorly explained. And if you don't justify it to students, why would students follow these rules, etc. Okay, and then I just want to highlight in the comments, Micah Greenberg in the gallery just posted a Campus Times article that includes the compliance rate for on-campus students last semester. That's going to be pretty important as well. I yield back to the floor.
Great. Does anyone else have anything else they'd like to add on these CURT updates? All right, seeing none, we can go into senator updates if any senator would like to come out and say something. Well, seeing none for that as well, we can go into the legislative committees. So would the Academic Affairs Committee Chairman like to say something?
Well, yes, first of all, I'm happy to see you all again here, even though it's yet again virtually. So for academics, we have not had a first meeting yet. We'll have one soon. Now I have the schedules of my members to set that up. We still need more LAs, and we're still looking for a deputy chair for the committee. We have a full semester to work on, and it help is sorely needed. We are also well, I've been in talks with a speaker and with several people to try to push forward for an resolution on academic inequality, concentrating especially on the prices, that's the accessibility of prices for certain textbooks and applications that have to be needed as requirements for classes, to try to find solutions for that. So I would like to work in that if possible, and I'll be reaching out to the chairs of certain other committees like student life and campus services and so on and so forth. There's already, there's multiple ways to approach it. I would like it to be a multi-committee effort. And we're also we'll probably be trying to see this semester ways to work around the short breaks. As we know, accreditation is forcing us to have only 2 days of break. But there are ways, which I've been in discussion for a while with certain people, to try to find remedial approaches, department to department, to this. So I'll be updating more on that, but as a heads up, it's important that we'll be working on trying to give some academic relief to students on that front, especially as the semester goes through and we go closer to like the hardest points, which are like the reading period and the finals. That's it. I yield.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair for Perez Cordero. Does anyone else have anything to say or? All right, well, seeing nothing, we can go into ARC.
Hi, everyone. So what's there is there. I just want to highlight Isabel Vachetto, who is the ARC Analyst of the Month for November. SOAR grading is underway. We've done about 30 groups so far. Yeah, and all the committee meeting minutes from 2015 onward are now in the essay official folder. I know that Typhoon and Boris are probably really happy about that. And yeah, we're not doing any analyst hiring this semester. And I hope everyone had a great Winterfest and everyone's staying safe and healthy. Sorry. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair Thomas. Seeing no discussion, we can go into SAC.
Unlike ARC, we have very few accountants, so we're doing hiring this semester, and we're starting the interview process very soon. We had a successful mid-year leadership business manager training, so that went really well. And tomorrow we will have our modified budget process for the 11 organizations that qualify for it. And then this is not on the agenda because I didn't know it at the time, but just to update that SAC and WCSA spent about just over $400,000 on student programming this past semester.
What's that, 4,000?
400,000.
400,000, thank you.
That includes things such as support for student organizations, but also Winterfest, Yellow Jacket Weekend, all the performers and people that came to talk virtually, including Jason Derulo, Trevor Noah, etc. And the tent and the ice rink and basically anything that was to support undergraduate students.
Thank you, Chair Garcia. We do have someone in the gallery. If a senator would like to yield. Senator Liang.
I would like to yield to Parliamentarian Sahin in the gallery, please.
Thanks. Yeah, my question was about, like, is the 400,000, how does that compare to other semesters? Is that more or less? Is it, I just don't know, based off of, they might have tried to create more programs for undergrad students, and I just wanted a relative idea.
I unfortunately don't have the answer to you. I could take a guess, but I don't know if that's correct or not. I can email you later once I run the reports. I just ran the report earlier today for the past semester, so okay. I can email you later, or come to Senate next week with an update on that.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, I yield.
Cool. I yield to Micah Greenberg in the gallery.
Micah, are you there?
I'm sorry. My question was asked and my internet's bad and I just got kicked out and came back in. But yeah, my question's asked, so I yield.
Cool.
Okay, awesome.
Yield back to the floor, please.
Thanks, Senator Liang. Does anyone else have any other discussions? Anyone else want to say something about these updates? Seeing none, we can move into campus services.
Yeah, just a second. So I think the only thing that campus services has, for the most part, is information about Lucy Perez's resignation. There was a Humans of Rochester post, Humans of UR post talking about her resignation. We reached out to CAM as campus services and sort of got a preliminary idea of what was going on. It seems to be more of a union issue than it seems to be an issue within the school. So we're waiting on having a chance to have a thorough conversation with one of the union reps to have any more updates on that. But that's where we're at right now. The other stuff is dining services planning on doing a monthly pop-up throughout the semester, and they are working consistently, even still, on quarantine food options at hotels, reaching out through the school, not directly to hotels, just to make sure that they can relay the concerns about food issues and the quality of food that students have access to. We did decide a meeting time for the spring. It's 2 p.m. on Fridays, and our first meeting is going to be this coming Friday. We are looking for new legislative advisors if we can find them, but we are very content with the number we have already. However, considering the workload that we've taken on last semester and this semester, it would help to have more people help us out. If anybody has any questions, suggestions, concerns, feel free to reach out or ask questions right now.
I believe Senator Bile has a question.
It's more of like just like continuing on what Sabit said. It's not like really a question, but I just wanted to say that the UR Campus Times, they reached out to me and I talked to Alexander about it. Basically, we're gonna talk to Lucy tomorrow. We're trying to understand her point of view about what happened, because basically they want to, like the UR Campus Times wants to have an interview with her and specifically know the story. I'm really basically I just wanted to point out that Humans of UR is not meant to, like, let's say, like do campaigns unless for this specific reason. It was my like first post, and what happened was that Lucy's first video came at a time with her resignation, and to me, like, it was sad. Like, imagine me posting a video about Lucy working in the dining hall, and then at the same time she was asked to resign by the union. So this was what basically happened, and that's why there was a sort of a campaigning part behind this video. But I just wanted to point out that Humans of UR is solely focused on introducing the faculty to students and making sure that they develop meaningful connections. They can, like, students can get to know more about the worker or the faculty member's personal story and know more about their like lifestyle and work in general. So I just wanted to clarify this, and we hope that tomorrow's interview will go well with Lucy. And I guess UR Campus Times will keep you guys updated. So thank you. I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you, Senator Bile. Does anyone else have anything they wish to say about campus services? Seeing none, we can move into student life.
Cool. All right. Student life is back in action. So our spring semester meeting time is going to be Saturdays at 4 p.m. We met on Saturday this past weekend. That was quite productive. We set some goals. So logistical things first. We're going to try to do meetings in person with a Zoom option. We have one LA that is still remote. So we'll do basically hybrid. So if anyone wants to join the meeting, they can also join on Zoom. The Zoom link is posted in a public space with the rest of the Zoom links. I think it's on the SA website now, not sure. But yeah, so if you want to join student life meetings, that's available to you on Zoom. More logistical things, I'm replacing Senator Dillingham on climate and care due to a scheduling conflict, and Senator Salimi will be replacing me on CDR due to a scheduling conflict. We still have one LA on CDR. And yeah, so those are the logistical changes. We set some new norms and priorities for the semester. So yeah, in case no one knew, I like had COVID over the break and realized very existentially that like a lot of the structures that we sort of impose on ourselves are kind of useless, and posturing and like, so committee's a little bit more chill, a little bit less structured, but we'll still be sort of action oriented. We'll be oriented towards the same goals that we had last semester. So in particular, those things are one, ensuring that students get an adequate COVID response related advocacy on the student life side, which means alternatives to unsafe behaviors, and ideally pushing towards less punitive sort of measures that might have irreparable harm placed upon the shoulders of students unequally. We're looking at issues of equity, etc. And basically looking back at the demands that were proposed or that were made last semester by several student groups, including the Abolition Coalition as well as BLM here on campus. The final thing is just a regular sort of committee update. Last week we met with Faraz, who is a senior in Delta Upsilon, who was thinking about segregation on campus. And we have and we had a really robust discussion about co-sponsorships and how co-sponsorships could be changed. But of course, that is not just a student life issue, but also an ARC issue. So we were able to, well, I think I DM'd Faraz and was like, hey, you should talk to ARC about that. So that might happen. Yeah. So that's student life as of now. Sorry, I yield back to the floor.
Thank you, Chair Liang. There's someone in the gallery if a senator would like to yield. Senator Sadi.
Yeah, I would like to yield to Typhon Shaheen.
Thank you. I had a quick question. If, Amanda, you have more details or an idea of when your subcommittee is going to start up. I think it was the Equity and Inclusion Climate Board. I think that Devon is the chair, so maybe since he's not here, I'm not sure. I can ask him, but did you have details on that? I yield.
I don't have specific details, but I believe a when to meet was sent out, and there's still like the subcommittee meeting time is still TBD. But I'm sure Devon will update us next week at Senate.
Okay, great, thanks.
Senator Sadi, you still have the floor.
Yeah, I would like to to the floor.
Great. Does anyone else have anything they would like to ask Amanda or student life? Parliamentarian Updates, are you still in the gallery or?
Yeah, I yield.
Okay, because your hand's still raised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So seeing no one else, we can go into ISAC.
Hello. So we had our first meeting this week, just to sort of discuss lay the groundwork for the semester, set up a couple meetings with administrators, and just a basic plan for where we think that our committee should go this semester. We also interviewed a new, I guess, potential at this time, LA, who's here, and we're going to be motioning for her approval to the LA position. For spring 2020, we have a few set meetings that are confirmed. I highlighted this Tuesday because it just changed literally an hour ago. Instead of Tuesday 12:30, we're going to be meeting with Ravi Shankar at Wednesday 5:30 p.m. So that's going to be 2 people from my committee meeting ISO every bi-weekly. We're also going to be meeting with Laura Ballou. We are in the process of setting up meetings with the Green Center, UHS, financial aid. We also going to have representation on the ISAP that it's a student advisory board for ISO that we created last semester. We haven't decided on a time yet for this semester, and also we're going to have representation on the Equity and Inclusion Advisory Board. So that's basically it. But I said this in steering yesterday. I want to also point out that if there's any senator or chair that's working, especially already having conversations with any of these people, just please shoot me a text or something. I don't mind reaching out to you, but I think it would be better if you're already having conversations to just be like, hey, there are conversations already happening, so that we just prevent having different conversations with the same people. I think it can be just very iterative for them, probably even overwhelming. and we're just trying to look more like a body in a Senate than just having individual people reach out. So yeah, very excited for this semester and looking forward to working with everyone. I yield.
Great, thank you, Chair Nchangase. Does anyone have anything they'd like to ask or say? Seeing no one in the gallery, we can move into exec updates.
All right, I'll try to be brief. As always, there's the essay newsletter. We haven't really sent out any messaging yet this semester, but as soon as we get an influx of surveying or anything you'd like to, let student body know, we'll make sure to send something out. Oh, next point. I wanted to remind people because there was a discussion within the chairs and deputy chairs group chat about, particular concerns rising from certain classes this semester, whether it be, I guess format, like technical issues, whatnot. I just recommend people to refer to that form. It goes directly to Dean Hall and he gets in contact with the faculty member that the complaint or compliment is about, so we can resolve the issue as quick as possible. It's a really great way to directly advocate for student needs on a very micro level. So make sure to let people know about that. We hope to send some PR about that soon. This is kind of briefly mentioned in steering, and I believe at the start of Senate, but some of the leadership met with Dean Runner this past Friday. And just to kind of emphasize that, if there's any shortcomings in, COVID guidance application that you guys are noticing, make sure to let us know so we can bring it up to the CURT Student Advisory Board. I'm hoping to have an initiative soon on our PR channels to kind of solicit, just informally survey the student body on things they might have noticed. Because again, we're at 29 or 27 cases, and it's only been 10 days since move-in, since the semester started. It's kind of problematic. What is it? The next 3 updates are just kind of recapping where we left off with some of the committees from the fall. They're continuing to meet into this semester. One in particular I just want to highlight is something that we were recently invited to, and that's the discussions on creating a Center for Jewish Life. So essentially, this is a project that has been in the works. Board of Trustees has been invested in to kind of create a cultural space for the Jewish population at the U of R. I don't know as much about the project other than the general mission statement, so I refer to Chair Thomas, and then also L.A. Hannah, I believe, Whitkin from the Student Life Committee, if you guys have any particular questions. Yeah, and then what is it? On the latter half of the updates, I just wanted to point out that with Senator Salimi, we're going to be meeting with some of the library representatives to pick up on some textbook affordability conversations we had in the fall that dropped off. It seems like they're trying to, source more PDFs, but also textbooks accessible on the public domain. So I'm really excited to touch base and see how they've been doing with trying to, incentivize faculty members to switch out their materials on their syllabus. So if anybody's curious about that, feel free to reach out to me or Senator Salimi. Housekeeping, I wanted to just emphasize that outside of, I guess, executive cabinet meetings and, updating with my branch, anybody from the legislative, if you're a representative on a university committee, if you were appointed in the fall, please make sure to touch base with me in leadership. I'm just trying to make sure that certain committees are still meeting into this new semester and that we're not dropping off on a conversation. We have an issue, in the past years in SA where we'd have representatives not begin to show up to committees. So if you can't make the time anymore, or if it's, too much, because again, I recognize that people's schedules can get a little bit hectic, especially us leaving seniors, there's requirements we got to fulfill before we graduate. Literally just let me know and we can find, a replacement. I just want to make sure that SA and the student body in general is just representative on those meetings. Other than that, last 2 PAC meeting. So with the Presidential Advisory Council, we ended up going through the applications at the end of last semester. We finalized a number of students to be representative. I believe there's somewhere between 8 or 10 students. And then we're also extending invitations to the general councils to try to get more representation from Greek life, from sports, from interfaith. So, how they have those councils on the CCC. Hoping to give some, feedback to the Senate after our meeting this Saturday. Don't really know what to expect, but myself, Isha, and Mark worked out an agenda. So I'm really excited to just have that be, you know, like at least a basis of students that aren't necessarily involved in essay to like just get feedback from. And then last point is during our executive cabinet meeting, something came up in a sense that we feel like the branches aren't very, you know, interconnected, especially because everything's virtual now. We only really communicate with the people that we have to. So Isha will hopefully be sending out a survey soon to see how willing people would be to virtually social bond. I know that's probably like overdone. People are, you know, exhausted with the idea of just sitting another hour at their computer, but I think it might be fun. I don't know. TBD how that's going to happen. I know that we're probably going to still have some in-person bonding. I have to double check with our advisors, but expect more food trucks and potentially maybe some outdoor festive activities. I don't really know what you can do outside in this weather other than ice skate, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what we can pull off. Okay, and I think that's all, unless Mark, you had something to add, but. Oh, let me check the chat.
I think I'm good, Justina. You mentioned everything I would have said.
Okay. I got some direct messages I'll answer. But yeah, I think we're good. Let me know if there's anything that comes up. As always, yeah, excited.
Oh, I think we lost you there, Justina.
Oh, you're good. I just said excited to be back. I accidentally hit the M and muted myself. A different computer. It's, yeah, getting used to it.
Well, thank you, President Gorka. Senator Liang.
Yeah,
I just wanted to give some context to the chat that happened in the committee. So what had happened was I had a student reach out to me, which then I relayed to the chat, who was having a specific problem with a specific professor that shall be kept private for privacy reasons. But I would encourage all senators to sort of keep relaying that into the form that Justina has listed, or sorry, that President Gorka has listed there. And as we sort of like aggregate these things, it'll become clear which professors are giving students a bit of a hard time, especially regarding cameras having like needing to be on even though you don't have a camera, or issues of equity like that, as well as, you know, issues that might be related to course load. Since we only have 2 days of study break this semester, it's going to be real rough. But as we sort of like proactively like keep an eye out on for students, we sort of have a better ability to adapt in the further months. That's the first thing. The second thing is that in regards to like COVID cases, do we have any updates from exec or even from ACJC perhaps, if they're here, about the like what would happen in the event of a pause? Since 30 something cases is kind of a lot. I yield back to whoever can answer that question. I yield to Connor in the gallery.
Sure. So I was away for 5 minutes roughly earlier. If I missed a question from someone, please directly message me. I'll try to get back to it as soon as I can. I'm sorry if I did. I just had to handle something else. I'm going to quickly address something that Chair Liang brought up that I think is really important, and that's what happens in the event of a pause. I can probably talk about this more during my updates, but the long and short of it is that certain components of the university would be moved online or remote. So course delivery would be moved online, and the other significant change would be that the food service, you'd be going to the dining hall, picking up the food, and then returning back home to eat. So that's, I'd say, the two biggest things that would happen in the event of a pause. And there are a variety of questions that arise as a result of that too. So I think towards the end of last semester, when the case counts shot up again, there were a fair number of conversations. And to my knowledge, the information shared then is still up to date about what a pause would look like because it's mandated by New York State. And that's different from the university's own discretion about what things to implement. And so I see that Justina has, or President Gorka has her hand up, and so I want to defer to her when it comes to that. But I hope that clarifies, because that's a legal side of things as well. I yield.
Yeah, just to echo what Connor said about the pause, if people are curious, we can forward a link in the chat. I think it's pretty accessible on the COVID dashboard though. But yeah, it's
it's in the case that we reach 100 cases first, or if we run out of quarantine spots, and I think currently we are at 46% capacity for on-campus quarantine. I don't know if that's before or after we get approved for the hotel quarantine spots, because I know Dean Runner's currently in communications about potentially expanding our quarantine situation to not just include Whipple, but as well, like I think it was the Marriott Hotel. So that might help our situation. But yeah, it's just extremely important that we follow guidance. You know, there's like this kind of mutual concern among leadership that because we did relatively well in the fall semester, that students might feel more at ease this time around when it comes to guidance. It's not the case though, and I ensure, I hope that everybody here can, make sure to remind their peers and also act as like, example of how we should be behaving specifically on campus. We mentioned this briefly in steering, but when it comes to like shortcomings in guidance, administration doesn't necessarily always I feel like recognize the disconnect between how policy is applied. So one example that I believe we brought up in the past was the dining situation and how like Hearst Lounge and the Feldman Ballroom guidance relatively is like abused, how it's applied. So, in those cases, like making sure that we let administration be aware and trying to get ahead of it, because again, it only takes 15 minutes unmasked for you to be a potential positive case if you've been associated. And I don't know, it's just unfortunate that we're starting off this semester on this kind of note, but yeah, we I repeat what was mentioned before. We will be having a student advisory board meeting for Kurt on Friday, and I'm hoping to talk with a couple more students to get their input. But if people had anything they wanted to, make known to Dean Runner and the other deans for the graduate and Eastman schools, so they could bring it back to the main group, please let us know. We're always open to it. And we hope to also, again, do more on the social media, type of front to continue this dialogue of following guidance, being responsible, because it's really possible that we could potentially go on a pause at this rate.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Justina, but we just lost quorum, so we're going to pause the meeting for a bit until we.
Yeah, I kind of might have lost my train of thought there. But I think what I was gonna ask, something pertaining to like what happens like when you go on a pause, what happens like student employment right now, people who are like working on campus. But since Connor said it's like got a lot to with like the legal side of things, I am assuming people don't have answers right now, which is fine. But I do want to yield to Micah in the gallery, so.
Thank you. So yeah, so I was just going to say, so I'm now with the Campus Times this year after last year in SA, and I just did a big sort of semester in review about last semester, which involved interviewing a lot of various administrators about how last semester went. And I would definitely echo what Justina said, that one of the things I noticed even among administrators was them sort of saying, when I interviewed them mostly like in late November, early December, that basically for a lot of them, they sort of assumed that last semester was proof that this semester will go well. And I think that it's really important to sort of realize that there are different circumstances, there's different levels of spread in the area, there's probably going to be COVID variants coming around soon, all those things that this semester is also, it's a different situation than it was last semester. That's all. I yield.
Senator Salimi still have the floor from earlier.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so I went to get COVID tested today because I was like randomly selected because like 2,000 people are being tested, so it seemed like everyone was. Anyway, I went to get tested today, and the line at the gym was kind of concerning because I remember like last semester it used to be like you would go in and it wasn't too crowded and you'd get a test and everything, but today people in line to get tested were like quite literally on top of each other. There was like no distancing whatsoever. So if, for example, if there were to be someone who was like positive there, it would have been a super spreader event. And that was like kind of really concerning. I know people who work at the GAC who were really concerned with that too, and they're trying to work through it. But also I think the school just didn't think through the logistics of having 2,000 people sign up for testing, but not having proper social distancing at the testing sites. Yeah, I yield.
Senator Cosme.
Yeah, and just to add on top of that, I think one of the other concerns is the fact that they're using rapid antigen testing as opposed to PCR testing, which it has a track record of being much, much less accurate. So there's a very, very decent chance that if there's a student who has COVID in that entire line, not only could they spread it to that line or group of people who are in there for testing that specific date, but there's also a very solid chance that they'll test negative despite being positive for COVID. So I do worry about the lack of PCR testing and the use of rapid antigen testing at this point. I yield.
Okay, thank you, Senator Cosme. Does anyone else have anything they wish to say at this time? Oh, I think we do have another gallery, if the senator would like to yield. Senator Liang.
I yield to Mike Greenberg in the gallery, please.
So on Sabit's point, so basically, from my understanding, they normally, like last semester also, we're not testing people who are going to quarantine for exposure, but I believe that they still are using PCR tests for people who are reporting symptoms to Dr. Chatbot. So they are using PCR testing. They're using the rapid antigen testing for surveillance testing, and that's boosting the amount of surveillance testing they're doing. And the idea of surveillance testing is less to identify specific people who might be spreading it, and it's more to identify the community level spread so that they can identify when there's a big outbreak on campus and like put mitigating measures in place before there's something huge. But they are still testing people who report symptoms and quarantining people without testing them, from my understanding, the people who are exposed, which was the same as last semester. I yield.
And I will just add that that is the way that the university is doing testing is also the recommended, I guess you would call it methodology from the Department of Health. I yield.
Great, thank you. Does anyone else have, Senator Salimi?
Yeah, I agree with like what the university is doing. Like as Amanda said, it is like procedure. I just think that like if they could find a way to like better like administer the testing at the GAG, that would be a really great thing, because like the line that I saw today, like it was like a super spreader event. Like it could have been if someone there was positive, because there was no distancing at all. I yield.
Thanks, Senator Salimi. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add to the conversation? All right, seeing none, we can go into Alumni and Advancement.
No updates this week, just the Meliora Collective Mentorship Program is actually going really well. They had over 1,000 signups from students, and a lot of alumni themselves have also participated. They're thinking of spreading it over across a whole year, having multiple mentorship sessions. That wasn't there yesterday in steering, but it was the information I got today, and I just thought I'd share.
Great, thank you. Seeing no discussion, we can go into community engagement.
No updates this week. Good to see everyone.
Thank you. We can go into public relations. All right, I guess if there's nothing to share, looks like there's no updates, we can go into ACJC.
Hi, everyone. We don't have any public updates, but I know that we have had some previous discussions throughout the rest of this meeting about COVID policies, COVID guidance, the intersection between public health, conduct, and communications. I do want to say that I think yesterday during steering, we had a particularly helpful high-level discussion about ways that communications from the schools and from the university can be improved. More genuine and authentic ways of trying to explain why policy works and what it's trying to achieve and why people should follow the guidance that's been outlined. But as far as the discussions that have been had, I can't really share tons besides our normal jobs, which is Board of Academic Honesty stuff and our conduct appeals work is proceeding as per normal. I did get reached out to recently by LA under Student Life, Paris Jameson. And we provided some clarifications about what the current medical amnesty policy is and how that intersects with COVID. The long story short is that it's complicated. And so if you have any questions about ambiguities, I'm happy to either talk about it myself, or you can contact Chair Liang or LA Paris Jameson. With that, I yield.
Thank you, Chief Justice Sandagata. Does anyone have anything you'd like to ask or say? Seeing none, we can go into parliamentarian updates.
All right, nothing much other than to say that our first meeting is going to be this upcoming Sunday. And at that meeting, we'll be discussing the feedback from the final meeting of Senate last semester regarding the bill to modify senator classifications. All right, I think that's it. I yield.
Thank you, parliamentarian. Yeah, seeing no discussion, we can go into speaker, deputy speaker updates. Yeah, there isn't really many updates from my end, except what you can see here. Senate Bill 42 and Senate Statement 32 have been signed by the president and will be published following the conclusion of this meeting. Alexander, if you're still in there, if you want to add anything else. All right, with that, if no one has any questions, we can go into new business. Is there a motion? Senator Liang?
Motion to approve the minutes from 12/07/2020.
Is there a second? Senator Sadi?
Seconded.
We'll move into discussion. Is there any questions? I did do these minutes, so if anyone has any questions, they can ask me. All right, seeing none, we can move into a vote by unanimous consent. Is there any dissent? Seeing and hearing none, the motion passes. Is there a motion? Senator Sadi?
Motion to approve Karen Rose Kamala as a legislative advisor on the International Student Affairs Committee.
Is there a second? Senator Salimi?
Second it.
Great. We can go into discussion if Karen Rose Kamala would like to say something about herself, or Sakile, go right ahead.
Like I said, we had an interview yesterday with Ro, and I believe everyone got to ask her questions. We got to know her during the meeting, and we're happy to have her. I'm just gonna let her talk more about herself. I believe she is in the meeting. If she is, I would like to yield to her.
Hey guys, so my name is Karen Rose Kamala. You guys can just call me Ro. I'm a first year majoring in economics and data science. And as Sakila said, I got to meet Isaac just the other day, and the committee and everyone there was so lovely, and they seemed very passionate about the program. I really want to serve in this committee because I want to be able to more directly support international students and just make their experience at the university just feel like a much better and smoother experience. And I think international students, especially now, need a little support with everything going on. And yeah, I want to be able to interact with international students more and just really, do things that will make a huge difference. And this is something I'm very passionate about, seeing as I'm an international student myself. So yeah, I'm very excited to get the opportunity to work with Isaac and just support the Senate and the student body in general in any way I can.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions they would like to ask the candidate? All right, seeing none, we can go into a vote by roll call whenever the acting deputy speaker is ready.
Okay. All right, Senator Rowan Arkin. Are you not here?
Not here.
Oh, my bad. Senator Baker says yes. Senator Belay?
Present. Yes.
Okay. Senator Dillingham?
Not
No?
here. Not
Okay.
here.
And then Senator Fegler's not here. Senator Hawk?
Yes.
Senator Hathaway?
Yes.
Senator Cosme?
Yes.
Senator Liang?
Yes.
Senator Liverpool?
Yes.
And then Senator Nadeem is not here. Senator Nshangasa?
Yes.
And then Senator Ramirez, we're going to skip. Senator Rogers is also not here. Senator Sadi?
Yes.
Senator Salimi? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Okay. Senator Tulloch?
Yes.
And then Senator Yoon.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, give me a second to count these up. So we have 12 yeses and 6 abstentions, so the motion passes.
Congratulations, Rose. Is there a motion? Senator Bullock?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Senator Salimi? Okay, is there any discussion? If not, we can go into a vote by unanimous consent. All right, well.
Who made the motion? I'm so sorry.
What's that?
Who made the motion?
Look.
Senator Tulloch.
Thank
yes.
you.
All right, so we're gonna go into a vote by unanimous consent. Oh, unless Senator Tulloch, do you want to discuss?
No.
Okay. All right, well, seeing no dissent, motion passes and we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.